2025. It's going to be a great year. We are back. In this video, I'm going to go through every single weight class and we're going to take a look at who I believe will either be champion by the end of the year or will have their reign cut short by a new contender who will take their belt. Bit of a prediction video. Let's get into it. Guys, please like, comment, and subscribe so I can keep pushing out content for you guys. Let's go. Okay. See that big guy over there? We're saving him for last. I'll get to that. We're saving him for last. Okay. Women's flyweight. We have Valentina Shevchenko. I think Valentina Shevchenko will continue to reign over this division. She proved in the Alexa Grasso trilogy that she is that much better than everyone in that weight class. I mean, you do have some fun contenders. You have Manon Fiorot, you have Erin Blanchfield, Macy Barber, Natalia Silva, Rose is still in there. I really just don't see anybody being able to keep up with Valentina on the feet. And then, if you're able to, she also has grappling in her back pocket that she pulled out tremendously against Alexa Grasso in that third fight and blanked Alexa Grasso 50-45, 50-44. Valentina is super dominant. At the end of 2025, she will still be the women's flyweight champion. Women's strawweight, Zhang Wei Li. Okay, in my opinion, there is only one person who may possibly beat her, and that is her next challenger, Tatiana Suarez. Tatiana Suarez at one point was like the female Habib, right? I don't think she's quite lived up to that, but she is very, very good, and she did have a couple of setbacks earlier in her career. Nonetheless, I think Zhang Weili will beat Tatiana Suarez, and I don't see anyone else in that division right now that will give Zhang a run for her money, at least this year. So, Zhang Weili will also still be champion at the end of 2025. And we're about to scroll up because with the men, we are saving John Bones Jones for last. Do I think Tom Aspinall is going to beat him? You're going to have to wait towards the end of the video. Okay, let's see. Let's start at the bottom. Flyweight. Alexandre Pantoja, we just saw him defend his belt against Kai Asakura, who I think cracked the top 15. So he got ranked at 14. Fair. First fight in the UFC. Okay. Pantoja, do I think he will be your champion at flyweight at the end of 2025? This one's a little tricky, but I do. Okay, here's the thing. Every fight Pantoja is in is a bit of a action fight brawl, but lately he has kind of dominated them and found a way to win clearly in the end. But that's the tricky part. They are all very competitive up until he does win. I mean, this last one is kind of the exception against Kaya Sakura. He kind of blew through him after the first couple of minutes of back and forth. But other than that, every fight in his reign and his way up to the belt was very competitive. And there's a lot of good guys in the division. Brandon Royval, Brandon Moreno, Kai France, Manel Kopp. That's kind of the one I want to see is the Manel Kopp fight. But Pantoja will be your champion at the end of the year. Bantamweight. Merab Dvalishvili. You're getting your belt taken, bud. I'm sorry. Umar has proven to be that guy. The way that he was able to decisively beat Corey Sandhagen. Again, fun fight. All the rounds were competitive, but at the end of that, I think we all knew Umar clearly won. Umar is taking Merab's belt January 18th, and Merab is going to have a rough time getting back to the belt because of his style. I don't think the UFC really wants to reward him and give him another shot. I think they like guys like Sean O'Malley a lot better, Peter Yan, Davison. You know, they like the guys who are going to stand and trade a bit more. So, starting 2025, Merab will no longer be champion. Umar Nurmagomedov will be your new champion. Featherweight, Ilia Topuria. This one is a little bit tricky because I think if Ilia wants to stay at featherweight, he will remain your champion. The only way he's losing his belt is if he vacates it. And it's a bit of a mystery as to whether or not he's going to defend it or vacate it. So my prediction for that one, if Ilia stays, he will be champion. If he vacates the belt, obviously there will be a new champion, but that's a little different. It's not someone taking his belt. And there's a lot of fun fights at featherweight still for him, like the Movsar fight, the Diego Lopez fight, and let's do the Volk rematch. Those three fights, and then I say move up in 2026, move up to lightweight, but we'll see how that goes. Lightweight, the pound for pound number one fighter in the sport, despite what Dana White says, it's Islam Makhachev. You see my shirt, wearing a Charles Oliveira shirt. Love Charles. Islam is going to be your reigning defending champion at lightweight for the rest of the year. He fights Arman January 18th. I think Arman is very good. He is still a little bit young and kind of raw. And he still found his way to the top of the division. But this is a rematch with Islam. Islam has gotten a lot better, and so has Arman. But I don't think Arman has done quite enough for me to say that he has closed the gap that he will beat Islam. I'm still picking Islam in that fight. And then after that, you're probably going to see a rematch with Charles, and I think he beats Charles too. So Islam, the pound for pound number one fighter in the sport, he is going to remain your champion at lightweight. Welterweight, Belal Muhammad. Belal, forget the name Muhammad. Belal is very good, and I did not see him upsetting Leon, so he needs a lot more credit for that than he's getting. But I do think that Shavkat Rakhmonov will beat him. I think Shavkat Rakhmonov will be your reigning welterweight champion at the end of the year, and that division is so much fun. Sean Brady, Joaquin Buckley, Ian Gary, Jack Della Maddalena, Kamaru Usman. You have a mix of all these young guys finally reaching the top and all the old vets still in the mix. But Shavkat Rakhmonov will be your welterweight champ at the end of the year. Middleweight, Dricus du Plessis. Submitted my boy Izzy. Gotta give him props for that. Beat the boy Strickland at the beginning of last year. Him and Strickland are going to be fighting in February. This is a little bit tough. Okay, regardless, I think Khamzat is the champion by the end of the year. So I think Dricus loses his belt regardless. But I don't know if Sean beats him or not. I might be picking Dricus in that fight. Again, doesn't really matter because I do think Khamzat is going to be your middleweight champion at the end of the year. But Dricus is very good. I just think Khamzat, until proven otherwise, I'm going to assume he is undeniable and is going to be a champion. So that's how I'm rolling with that. Khamzat absolutely blew through Robert Whittaker in his last fight, which I did not see coming. So until further notice, Khamzat is going to get that belt at some point or another, and I do assume it will be this year. Light heavyweight. I don't think anyone is touching Alex Pereira at light heavyweight. I think he is going to beat Magomed Ankalaev. Magomed Ankalaev is very solid, but he's not the wrestler and grappler everyone thinks he is. Yes, he is good, and will he probably take Pereira down at some point? Probably. But over the course of 5 rounds, I don't think he's going to finish Alex on the ground, and I think eventually Alex will be able to piece him up on the feet and either finish him or win a decision. No one in that division is touching Alex right now. To the main event of this video. Jon Bones Jones. The Duck himself. You have that man, Tom Aspinall, the interim champ, sitting at number 1 on your ass, Johnny. Tom Aspinall, absolute animal. Has ran through pretty much everybody outside of Ciryl Gane, but Ciryl Gane does not hold a lot of weight, in my opinion, right now at all. I think Volkov beat him, um, and Tom probably blows the doors off of Ciryl Gane. Nonetheless, this is not about him. Does Tom Aspinall, Mr. UK, the savior, some would say, ever since Michael Bisping has retired, does he beat Jon Jones? The duck, the goat. Lots of different animals. John loves lions, but he's a goat, but he's also a duck. Does Tom Aspinall beat Jon Jones? No. I'm sorry to say this. This is all if we get this fight. If we get this fight, Jon Jones beats Tom Aspinall. Now, does that mean Jon is still champ at the end of the year? I don't know. Because Jon may beat Tom Aspinall and he may hang it up. So we may get a new champion regardless of that outcome. Which, if Jon was to vacate the belt and retire, I think Tom would easily become the champ of that division. But it would not be a good thing for the UFC because Jon walked out the door without taking an L to the guy who is assuming his position. So it would be a rough one for the UFC to get around for a little bit. Eventually they would, though. But in my opinion, Jon Jones does beat Tom Aspinall. Now, I'm not super confident in that. That's really a coin flip for me. That goes kind of back to the Hamzat thing, in my opinion, until proven otherwise. All money against Jon Jones is stupid money. Jon Jones is undefeated. Whether you think Reyes beat him, whatever, he didn't. Jon has won every single fight he has been in outside of Matt Hamill because Matt Hamill whooped his ass. No, he didn't. He got his ass beat so bad that the ref had to disqualify Jon Jones. That's basically what happened. Yeah, Jon Jones is the GOAT, so I would never bet against him until proven otherwise. So how many champions is that I think are gonna be new? We got one, we got two, three new champs. That's all I'm predicting. Yeah. Bantamweight, welterweight, and middleweight. Now, featherweight and heavyweight are up in the air because if those guys vacate their belts, obviously there has to be a new champion. Let me know what you guys think about those predictions and who you think will reign over each division by the end of the year. Let me know what you think about the Jones and Aspinall fight, if it even happens. If it does happen, who are you picking to win that fight? Guys, 2025, it's going to be a great year. I am itching for the fights to come back because I have had nothing to talk about with you guys. But we're back. I'm going to try to find random topics throughout the week to fucking post a video about. So, with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.